Yeah, I mean, I think both teams probably felt a little bit sluggish and rusty after you get into a rhythm in conference play where you're playing every Wednesday and Saturday, then all of a sudden, then you don't play for a week, and it looked like both teams were kind of working their way through that in the first half. Um, Obviously, we needed to address some things at halftime. I like the way our team adjusted. We played some different lineups. They didn't have a traditional post player in there, so we had to kind of make some adjustments to that. And I thought T came off the bench. Tatiana played a really good defensive game. Did some nice things for us offensively, and it's a nice luxury to have somebody who can play and literally guard all five positions. She has the ability to do that. So her versatility allows us to make adjustments in games like this. So really pleased with that. And then Jenna, obviously, with a career high, kind of carried us in scoring when we weren't really getting much done. And obviously her talent has been on showcase this year on what she's capable of doing. So it's good to see her confidence just continue to grow. And this team, once again, I think has a lot of good basketball ahead of it.
Yeah, Jenna, just congrats on the career high with 25 points, with 17 of those coming in the second half. Was there maybe anything pre-game or even at halftime where it really propelled you or maybe felt different that you thought tonight might be a little different for you?
Yeah, I mean, coming into the game, I really wanted to make sure last game we played since our last one got canceled, was Ball State. And that was a really hard game for me. I was really frustrated with myself, and I felt like the week after that, even in practice, I had some off practices, and I wanted to make sure that didn't turn into, multiple games and continue piling on and turn into any sort of slump. So I wanted to come into this game really aggressive and attacking from the start.
And I think also what really impressed me tonight with you was your defense on Caitlin. She's the second leading scorer in the MAC, and you guys held her to 3 of 12 and 8 turnovers, and just really frustrated her, and she really never looked comfortable. I guess just how much pride do you take in your defense and being able to maybe when you see the other team visibly upset on what you're doing on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride, but I also think that tonight, I did play decent defense, but it was a team effort. Everybody was, we had good plugs from our post, and even when they switched onto her, they were playing pretty good defense on her. She's quick, so I thought they did good. Everybody was in their gaps, mostly with her. I think most of our defensive issues came away from her, which is good. But yeah, I thought as a team we covered her pretty well.
Yeah, then Tatiana, just could you talk about just the confidence that not only you but the rest of the team has when Jenna has the ball in her hand, especially the way she's been playing this year?
It's outstanding, over the top. We can't even describe it. She's the best. I'm lucky she's on my team and I don't have to play against her.
Thanks,
yeah.
Well put.
And then the last two games, you've kind of seen your role expand with the injury to Michaela. Just what's going through your head when you're getting those more minutes and you're being out there, and especially tonight, you really impacted the game. I don't know if there was a stat really that you didn't have tonight.
I just try to play my hardest, get rebounds, do some of the things that other people don't want to do. I try my hardest to do that because everybody needs those things for games, and just play hard. That's really what I think about when I go in.
And then really for just both of you guys, I think a lot of times when you see an impact player go down to an injury, it can kind of affect the team, and that didn't really happen to you guys, and you guys were able to kind of move past it in the moment at least. I guess just what's going through your minds there, and how are you able to kind of put that aside to not let a slump form and the other team able to get back at the game?
Yeah, that's obviously really hard to see your starting point guard go down, but in the moment, obviously it was still, I think, in the back of all of our heads, but in the moment you got to be able to put that aside and focus on the game and worry about that after the game.
That's really, you got that.
As you both know, today is National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Could you both talk a little bit about what it meant to get a win today?
Yeah, I think it was really important to set an example for it. There was a lot of little girls there. We just did autographs after the game, and there was a lot of them coming through the line. And I think it's just important to set a good example for them. And, yeah, it felt good to get a win.
Yeah, I just think it's important for them to see women doing a lot of things, whether it's basketball or anything in medical fields, just stuff like that. Everybody should have representation of themselves. So it's good that they did that for us.
And can you guys kind of talk about, as athletes, how important it was growing up to have that support, growing up being an athlete?
I think support for women's sports and especially women's basketball has grown tremendously in the past couple of years, and that's been great to have. I think growing up, it was kind of on the back burner, but it's been great to see that blossom and grow a lot of support over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I've always had my dad having like him in my ear. Most of my coaches have been men, and they've always just encouraged us to be our best women that we could be. So, yeah.
Anyone else got anything else for Jenna or Tatiana?
Great job, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are kind of cool.
Anyone else? Do you have any coaches or talking with you guys?
Yeah, you mentioned there at the opening, just you guys have a week off here, just in the middle of conference. Just what were the challenges maybe when you find that out and then you got some time off? And I mean, maybe it did come at a good time for you with the injuries. It gave everybody a little time to get healthy. Just coming into this, what were really those struggles that you guys had?
Yeah, we kind of had a little flashback to the COVID years. I hate to even mention that, but we this was an unplanned game that we missed. We know we have the bye week coming next week. That's something that you plan for in advance, but when you're still thinking you're playing the game less than 48 hours before the game is coming, and then we would have planned our week differently had we known. Obviously there were unforeseen circumstances, so kind of throws you out of rhythm a little bit, and that's a real thing. But that's one of the things that you have to adjust to. Like there's going to be other adjustments we're going to have to make as we move through the end of the season, and we have to be adaptable to that.
And then if you could just talk about, because I think coming into this game when I was looking at the other team, the one advantage you guys really had was the rebounding advantage, and that really showed there in the first quarter and then throughout the game. Just how beneficial was that size for you guys compared to them, and how you guys were able to really take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes us a bit unique is our versatility. So today, Bridget only played 24 minutes and Janae played 16, and you would think, well, you have size advantage, but defensively we were able to put Tatiana in and really play with four guards and Tatiana and be able to match up with them better. And so it's nice to have that versatility. I mean, we did out rebound them obviously, but that's the adjustments as coaches we're trying to make, is trying to figure out what's the trade-off there. Is it better for us to go big, and try and pound it inside, or is it do we make the adjustment to their size? So it was a little bit of a chess match there for a little bit, and I think we finally got into a bit of a rhythm with it.
And then your guys' defense on Caitlin tonight, it seemed like whatever you guys wanted to do on defense against her was working. Was that the game plan to try and just really frustrate her, or what were you really impressed with the way that the team played against her tonight?
Yeah, I think Jenna was spot on with what she said. She did a solid job defensively. I mean, obviously the way we look at it, it may be a little bit different, but really I think she was, and she's such an unselfish kid. She's not going to take credit for that, but the team really is what I think created that great defensive cohesion. I mean, she went 3 for 12 and she had 7 assists, but we turned her over 8 times. I thought our team defense, our connectedness really took away her opportunities to score, her driving lanes, her good looks, and I think it did frustrate her.
And then I know I've asked you a lot about Jenna this year, but just she has a career high, and just it seems like she's just getting better as the year goes, and the more confidence that she's getting in herself.
Yeah, and once again, I'm not surprised. I mean, I think everybody on the team, knew she had a 25-point game in her. And Kate, they did a really good job. They really crowded Katie a lot. They kind of had the same philosophy. Really crowded Katie, took away her great opportunities. When she drove the ball, they sent in 2 and 3 players, and it's so great to have Jen on the other side this year, where you take away one and somebody else is really going to go off. If they try and do that to Jenna, and then Katie has the opportunity or somebody else. So it was really nice to see her take advantage of that opportunity.
And then you mentioned Katie, just if you could talk about just the impact that she's able to give this team, even when she's not a leading scorer, but tonight she has 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals, and just really filling the stat sheet for you guys.
And that's how she's always been. She's not a stat watcher player. Katie is the type of player, if she was more selfish or more self-focused, she could have averaged 15, 20 in any given season here. But this is the type of games that she has when we have this, and when they're taking things away, and has a 5.8 rebound, 4 assists, 4 steal game, and does a lot of the little things. Some of the offensive rebounds she got or the defensive rebounds she got were really big. So that's just a sign of maturity. She's been here for 5 years. We have I have a lot of trust in her to be able to figure out those ways to win, and she did that today.
And then just as part of the coaching staff, when you have a player go down like Corinne, just what are you trying to do to the rest of the team to try and not have that be something that slows the team down there and they're constantly trying to think about it?
Yeah, I mean it's you got to try and get their attention back to the game and focus on the game. Corinne's a great teammate and a great friend to all of them, and you hate to see something like that happen. We'll see what the outcome is on that, but that does take the wind out of a team's sails. They had a player go down as well. And that's tough to see your teammate go down, because you, as a teammate, you see how hard they work every day, right? And with some of them, how much they battle back from other injuries and that type of thing. And it's tough to bet. But I thought our team did a pretty good job of handling that in the moment.
Then just last one for me. Have you ever had I know this weekend you have a non-conference game. Has that ever been something you've done before? And maybe what are the challenges when you're so used to playing that MAC type of basketball, then you have an opponent where maybe you've never seen before, maybe a totally different style? Are there really any challenges when you have a random non-conference opponent?
I've seen Old Dominion. They're really good. I mean, it is a challenge. I think you probably get mixed reviews on whether coaches like this or not. I'm sure Old Dominion really doesn't want to be getting on a plane and flying up here right in the middle of their conference season. I mean, there's an advantage to it as well. I mean, you're getting a quality opponent to help towards your net or that type of thing, or your postseason stuff. But it is a challenge, and none of us have done this before. And so we'll kind of see what it is. But this is a really good Old Dominion team that's coming in here. It's a team that's won a national championship before. That program has won a national championship. So this used to be a national powerhouse. So I think it's great for our program to host a team like that. We're going to have to play a lot better than we did tonight in order to beat them, for sure.
I was just gonna ask, what will you focus on for Saturday so you could beat them?
Yeah, I mean, our biggest focus obviously to break down film. Obviously, our focus has been on Western Michigan, and Coach Fran's got the Old Dominion scouts, so she's been looking at that. But they're a completely different style team than what we faced today. They have big post players. They're going to pressure us. They're very athletic and going to try and mix things up. So our game plan for Saturday will look different than it was today, for sure.
Any other questions, Chris?
One more. Same as I asked the girls, National Girls and Women in Sports Day. What does it mean to kind of get a win, and especially for you as a mentor for so many women in college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, obviously my profession is coaching women, young women, and trying to be a mentor for some of them, for all of them. Hopefully, our staff is a big part of that, but also being a dad. My girls grew up playing sports, and the value that these young women get from playing team sports growing up. The access and opportunity that they've been afforded over the last 25, 30 years has just continued to grow every single year. And I know a lot of the trailblazers in women's sports, you think of the Pat Summits, and the Tara Vanderveers, and going back even further than that did not have the resources but had the vision to create this type of atmosphere where women now, girls and women, can have a lot of opportunities, whether it's basketball or hit the nail on the head, whether they want to go into professions that have typically been dominated by males or whatever that type of thing. Women are getting a voice at the table, they're getting opportunities, and the great thing about it is they're thriving in those opportunities. And so it's great for me to see these young women and to be able to watch them grow. Is just an awesome part of my job. This is a great group. There's a lot of times on the court it looks like I'm mad at them, and it might be. But I couldn't be more proud of the young women I get the opportunity to coach, and my coaching staff as well. So definitely something on our minds as we're playing today, and also the K Yao Cancer Fund with the Pink Game having to be pushed to this day is a big thing for us as well. So all the initiatives that support women, whether it be cancer research for women cancers, or whether it be recognizing Girls and Women's in Sports Day, or all those things are very important to us and our players.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, thank you.